I know.
I have nothing else to do but if you don't care, hit that for me. Kind of perfect right there.
Have to let some of the hot air out.
That's what it is, yes. Oh, by the way, we are live.
Oh, good deal. The timing of that was impeccable.
Hi, world.
We are live now?
We are live.
We're waiting on Julie.
We don't even get a 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Hey, thank you.
We're waiting on Julie.
Take one.
Thank you very much.
Oh, wait, take two.
Okay.
Kind of give you an idea of who all is here.
No?
We're waiting on Julie.
Waiting on who's the boss around here? Everybody is following Bob, and I'm like, okay. Kind of tells you who's in charge. Who's a big deal around here, don't it?
The man who lives here who knows the road.
We
But
would not have followed Bob.
actually,
I followed Tenda.
what it was a strategic move to make sure that we weren't being followed.
Yeah, that's what that was.
That's
Yes.
exactly
Yes.
what that was.
Yeah, we were.
Security issues.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that's what Julie just said. You're the driver of this bus.
Well, it's been established.
It was just me.
Yeah, I love it.
We're all here now. We got a quorum, right?
We got it. All righty.
Almost. We got more than 2/3. That's a quorum.
What did that guy say? Is 11 1/3 of 300? That guy at the mall.
1/3 of 100.
1/3 of 100.
Order in the
Yeah.
court.
All righty. Let's open the meeting with prayer, okay?
Amen.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. Thank you for your blessings upon us. And I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen. That's right. You keep him in.
Yes, say you.
Freedom.
Yeah, I apologize for the froze up. It should be working now. I had my eyes closed in prayer, so didn't realize it was froze up. So we have number one. Thank you guys so much for all the hard work. Bob, thank you for just your most generous.
Thank you.
Very much so.
Never one time felt like that you resented us being here. It was more the opposite than that. You have been so gracious and so kind and so giving. Thank you. Every one of us recognize Bob. All right, it's enough. That's enough.
Okay, guys.
No, he's been good to us. It's awesome.
Bob's a pretty big deal around here.
Yes, he is.
Bob pay
Yeah.
for his utilities.
Yeah.
Yes,
There will be help. There will be help. Absolutely.
I second that.
Do you want to pass the plate?
We can do that. I don't have anything to put in it, but we can do
Yeah,
that.
that's
He
right.
put it in my pocket.
Oh, okay.
Nobody said to come with their purses.
We're going to go to.
We said wallets here.
Wallets,
I'm
okay,
not
wallets.
empty.
We're actually going to go to the board for some help as well because, we paid $2,000 a month to stay on that Bunker Hill, and this is far better than that. Of course, there's not as many people
Right.
here as
Still, yeah.
but still, it's far better and
Yes.
far safer. We'll get into that in a minute. But I just wanted to recognize that he never stops. He just never stops. He's
That's a fact.
constantly, constantly moving, constantly working, and he's the loads of wood that he's brought in. And one thing about 1776, we lit the fire.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we might not burn down cities, but we burn down some trees.
Let's also recognize the last people that gave us some firewood. This man saved General Custer's horse in the Battle of Bighorn.
Now wait a minute. That would have been how long ago?
So,
This is a story.
this is what the man has said. Now,
Go lay down. Lay down.
he might be that old. He's kind of.
He would be in the Guinness World Book of Records if he was that old.
1876
I'm just to confirm.
was the battle.
Lay down.
Okay.
So,
Sit.
how far is that from
That's
here?
140 years.
140?
Yeah.
He could be.
No.
Don't think so.
No.
To be 150, do your math better.
There's no way. It's 150.
Yeah. And his father or grandfather.
1876,
Well,
Yeah.
26.
Well,
Yeah.
he could have maybe a little small dementia.
This is how we work things out right here. We say, okay, he might be crazy.
He might be crazy.
No, I don't think he's crazy. I
No,
think
no.
He's a wonderful patriot.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Was saying it was a team effort.
It was a team effort. Yeah, there was. Thank you guys. I don't know how many loads of firewood's been put in.
And I don't know how many, everybody
Thank
picked
you
up
to
that ball.
James, too.
I was going to say James has brought them in.
James brought a load in.
Mom and Pop. We were talking the other day. If Mom and Pop weren't here, we'd be standing around the serving table. And go, what do we do now? So,
Uber Eats.
Uber Eats.
No squirrels.
See,
It's all a team effort.
it is.
That's
Yeah.
Oh,
including
Make it
those
work.
that are viewing.
What's that?
yeah.
Including those that are
Our viewers,
Oh,
yes.
The viewers are awesome.
Yes.
Team effort.
Let's not forget Santa who works day and night.
Day and night. Yes, thank
I
you.
know. I'm
No
hoping he's
sleep.
gonna bring me some.
Poor mom and dad. They have to deal with my early risings and my.
Okay.
I want to. I sleep on the couch, which folds out, and I try to put it up because that's where it's really hard. And then I try to fold my blanket and stuff, and I do pretty good. I've quietly put the bed up. This morning it kind of slipped out of my hand and went thump, And I do really good. But Mama has a little glass tray there that I put all of my stuff out of because my pockets are like my suitcases, And I'm trying to get stuff out of it quietly, but I've got coins and exactly. And but thank you, Mom and Pop, for your kindness. I was talking to Mom this morning. I told them you said you loved her and said hi, and she says you tell them I love them too. So,
So much
Amen.
but Mama,
precious.
I talked to Mama 2 or 3 times this morning.
We love Mama.
But anyway, and Jenny has been very instrumental in putting together the presentation. She's working on the handouts. I would have never even thought about handouts. What's going on here is now we're actually gelling we're finding our own. This is something I've been trying to make happen since we started this whole movement, and is that everybody has a position, and we're doing what we need to be doing. It allows me. My mission is message. That's it. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. Is nothing but the message. There are some other things that I like to do that I'll, like eat. And in the live
Did you
stream.
hurry up already? 'Cause I haven't had breakfast or lunch yet.
You want my sandwich?
No, not really.
Here, I give it to you.
No, I don't want your sandwich.
So we don't want you hangry.
No.
Anybody got a Snickers? I've tried that thing, and I still look like Abe Vigoda at the end of it. I'm just like, I start off as Abe, and I end up as Abe. So anyway, thank you guys, everyone. And I go around. There's so many things going on. I mean, we've had a wonderful, a very productive setup here. So
I vote thank God for the bus.
thank God for the bus. This is awesome. When it gets bitter
That was
cold,
part of God's plan there,
this is
Bob.
the place to be.
Yeah, Mom.
I would have already left.
I think the church where we're having the seminars,
Yep.
Yeah.
so
Yep. We went to a couple of churches. We went to 3 churches since we've been here. Of course, Pastor Joe McGill's in West Newton. where we're holding our first seminar this Friday and Saturday. It was amazing. The first Sunday we went there, it was, I told people, it was like I had written the sermon and said, Pastor Joe, could you preach this for us today? It was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to working with him this weekend. He's such a great man of God and such a patriot. We went to a church in Lebanon, Indiana. Pastor Sean Phelps, another great patriot and another great man of God. We reached out to him for actually hosting a seminar there as well. He told me, give me 2 days, and I knew what he was doing. He had to check his contract. He's buying his church on contract. And in that contract, it says he can have no political events there. And the reason is because that church is actually still tied to the church that had it before. And it won't come on, if they search it, it won't come on Sean and his people. It'll come on the people that are selling the church. He was heartbroken. He was like, Brother Dave, man, he said, I wanted to have you here so bad. So he's trying to find another place up there that we can actually do it. Cool. He is, and of course, we loved him too. I mean, he preached outstanding. And Brother Sean is the kind of pastor that we're wanting pastors to be. He's very loving, he's very forgiving, very kind, very generous, but he'll hammer sin in a heartbeat. He don't have it. Then to Evansville, Indiana, Pastor Randy Evans and his crazy wife. The wonderful thing about Sister, from what she done to me last night is the same thing she done. She didn't know me from Adam, and we walked in, and she was the same then as she is now. She always tried to help us. She had always wanted to help us pack up our equipment. And it wasn't because she was such a hardworking, generous woman. It was because she always had something that she stuck in our gear that I would find at the next church that she knew would make me laugh. So I think the last one was a pair of fuzzy slippers. And I opened it up and I'm like, what?
And then Nancy popped to mind.
Yeah, Nancy, obviously, it's Sister Nancy. So that is such a beautiful family, and that church is just, it was so good to be back. It's been years since I've been there. It was 2015, the last time I was there. And of course, we stayed in contact and talked and stuff, and we've remained really good friends through that. But it was so good to be back there last night. I walked up to him last night, and I was telling him, of course, he's been kind of following. He didn't know I'd been arrested. He knew nothing about that. He works, plus he pastors a church. He does furniture and, reupholstery and stuff like that. And I said, told him what I was doing. He goes, you got to do that here. I didn't even have a chance to ask you. He said, you got to come and do that here. And I said, it's just kind of like a seminar. He goes, okay, my buildings are your buildings. So when we go there, we can actually, they've got an annex building. We'll take a few days and just stay there and pass out our flyers and stuff. He's got a really, really great place there for us. We can take the bus and that can be, something we can utilize there as well. Because it's, like I said, it's 2.5 hours away, so we can't run down there. It was 3/4 of a tank for me to go down there and come back last night. So,
how far is it if we kind of bypass that?
oh no, we got to go right through the stinky area. That was horrible. It wasn't as bad coming back through last night, was it?
Hey,
Yeah.
we figured it out.
We figured out how
We have an oil for that.
Yeah. And so we were going through here.
Purification under
The cherry
the
blossom didn't work so well in the
Right.
first round. So we were coming back and I said to her, what about one of your essential oils? I've got the one. Purification.
Purification under the nose.
So this
man.
was
You
us
just smell
going
my
like,
nose.
we just kept on going.
Okay, you need to share that with the rest of the class.
I said, the hog farmers, man. So they can make sure they need that stuff on a
Yeah, I
gallon.
said, that might be a business idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Add a little purification with the fertilizer.
Yeah.
You know it's bad when you're trying to talk and you're going like this.
I was from New Jersey. I was like, this stuff stinks.
Normal New
We were
Jersey.
saying, hey, we got this for Don't
No.
smell it.
Let
And
me-
then I'll say,
Let me tell you
Yeah.
what my observation was. I knew when you hit that mark because all of a sudden Santa went from 60 to 75. I was like, wow, he's going a little fast now. I was like, dang, look
And
at
I'd
him
never
go.
break the speed
It was
limit.
like a slingshot, boy. It was like.
So
I
we're
was talking, let's get up there and see if he'll do 150.
Yeah.
so we're waiting on him. He didn't have his books there, so he has to check his calendar and stuff and see exactly what weekend we will have. So, so speaking of seminars, what do you guys need? What do we need to take with us for this Friday? What do we need to take in there? I told him we would supply the coffee, we would supply all that kind of stuff that is needed.
Mom's baking a cake.
Oh,
Y'all
Is
better
that all
come.
right?
oh, absolutely,
Y'all better come.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Kentucky's handling all the logistics on that.
Okay,
So she's got her list and she's got it pretty well hammered out as to what we're taking.
Okay.
Normally, I would really like us to take our own projector and screen and all that.
Yeah.
We've got all that.
But since it's so sketchy as to when it feels like working and doesn't.
well,
We're
we will
going
have
to
internet
utilize.
there.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
we're gonna take it, but we're gonna
take it,
utilize
but I'm pretty
theirs.
sure that they said that they've got.
Yeah,
They've
they've
got
got
two
theirs.
TVs. They've
Yeah.
got two TVs at least.
So I'd say let's just on the safe side for this first time
Yeah.
till we get kinks worked out. Let's
Just in case.
yeah.
We have backup.
But any questions on that? Kentucky is
Any kind of
handling all the
backup.
logistics
We'll
and
take it.
everything
Okay.
of what we're
Yeah.
taking.
All right.
We'll have everything together and ready to go.
Yeah,
Wear a belt and suspenders.
yeah, we'll have it.
Yeah.
We'll have it.
You never know. Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
and I think it's also important, let's make sure everybody's gassed up. Are we
Yes.
going to carpool or are we going to take a convoy and make an impression when we go down?
And get into that closer
Okay.
to the
Okay.
date. For
All right.
Yeah.
So I was just going to say everybody needs to be gassed up.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, Mom.
Uh,
Play the beans.
Play
no.
beans.
Not that time.
Woo, doggy.
We now have a PO box here. Oops. Let me find the PO box. I had it here.
Yes, I could be modding.
The PO
Oh,
box
what
is
happened to you, Ladybug Eye?
17. There's nobody saying anything much. So,
Okay.
uh,
That's because I'm not in there.
1776 RM, PO Box 483, Greencastle, Indiana. What's the zip code there? I don't have that.
Joe, you got it.
I got it.
46135.
I think that's it.
Give me the address again, please.
PO Box 483. So if some of the mods want to write that down,
46135.
46135 area or zip code rather.
That's correct.
PO Box 483, Greencastle, all one word, Indiana 46135. So that is our new PO Box. If you guys have anything that you need sent here, that would be the place to send it to. Going back to my original notes here.
How is it under 1776 RM?
We were talking this morning about the needs for the kitchen as far as food and stuff like that. If people on live stream want to reach out and help us in the food and stuff like that we need, is there any needs that, well, I hate to say needs because people will start trying to fill those needs. We talked about it. Would it be better? Do you think it would be better? Let me phrase this correctly. Do you guys think it would be better that gift cards are sent
Yes. Yes.
so that we can actually purchase what
Yes.
we need here on the ground and not have?
Being so fluid, with us moving around so much.
Yeah.
Probably with it being mobile and we just not having one certain area where we're storing everything. It'd probably be better for the gift cards. That way we can go and get what we need when we need it.
Right, and then we don't have to. We don't
We
just.
don't have to go to a certain. We don't have to go to
Yeah.
a certain area to pick it
Right.
up. We don't have to make the drive to go get that.
And you
We'll
don't have
go
to
get
store
when
it.
we need
Right.
Now, the big concern is storage
300,
space
300
for
turkeys or whatever.
refrigerator
Right.
or a deep
It,
freezer.
it's and we're not feeding that many people now.
Right.
We're not feeding,
Right.
50, 60 people. We're
Right.
we've got 12 people on the ground at all times here. This is the core team group. Then on the weekends, then we're going to have more coming in.
Right.
Last weekend we had how many?
25, I think.
25.
Like I said, and then it depends again on where we're at and what we're doing as far as, where everything's being stored and
Yeah.
so forth. So I think gift cards are probably the way
Yes,
to go.
I agree there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have the PO box, so they'll be able to come into the PO box here
Right.
and not have to worry about getting it from
Yeah.
the Martinsburg area.
Okay. We have another group of people coming in this weekend for the seminar.
Yes.
Right.
We even have, I think every board member is going to be here this weekend, so that's really cool.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're all talking from the meetings. We're having a board meeting tonight too as well.
Okay.
I'll let you guys know more about that when we have that.
I'll live stream that, or I'll live stream while you guys are doing your board meeting. Just
Yeah. Okay.
You get that? Yeah.
I'll live stream it too.
no, we're not live streaming the board meeting.
I know, I was being sarcastic.
Social
Since I
media.
never live stream.
Social media. I have not been on any of our social media stuff since we started. I know we still got a Telegram page that's up. Is there anything else other than?
Yeah, mom's sister can't find how to become a member on our website.
On the website?
Yeah, she's gone to it or something.
Okay,
We were
let's
talking about that earlier this
let's
morning.
walk through that right now, and we'll talk about it. If you go to 1776rm.com, which my service is slow here, so
I'm not kidding.
It should be right down on the main page. You should be able to go down and it says it's not on there.
Become a member,
I-
something, right?
okay, let's go. It'll take you into the home page, obviously.
May have to go to the menu.
I think it's the wording that might be doing for her.
She's watching, so she'll be hearing this. Okay.
Oh wow, that's cool. The homepage comes up with the West Newton Worship and Youth Center sign up, so you can register to attend that. Of course, there's no fee for that whatsoever. Just show up. But we would like to know about how many people are coming. There is is she wanting to be a founding member or right below right below all that, when you just scroll down, there it says founding member 150 per year, 1776 founding membership. It says select. And it's selecting that now as we talk.
Now see if it, oh, you got AT&T. Yeah,
It takes you over to a sign up page,
Oh, you got a quarter
and
bar.
you just sign up.
A hotspot.
That's what I was trying to get on.
You can sign up with.
Which one?
I don't think you need to fix anything, Chuck. I think you're all right. You'll have to sign in with either Facebook, Google, or an email account. And once you sign up with that, then it will take you to the following pages to be able to do that. So she'll need to. I use a junk email account when I sign up for stuff. That thing, I'm not kidding you. That thing gets 300 emails a day, and that's why it's a junk email. Because we're not going to do it, but a lot of places sell your email address.
Right.
That's one of the things that I've constantly reiterated in this movement is when we ask for somebody's email address or their phone number, we're not going to be selling it. We're not going to be bombarding them with all kinds of nonsense. So
Another thing they need to know is you don't have to be a founding member to join the 1776.
no, absolutely
Right,
not.
that's very-
You don't have to be a
Just go
founding
up there to
member.
the menu, go down to 1776 RM groups,
Yep.
and then you can go to your state. You can go to any one of those states and join.
And volunteering too, volunteering.
Yeah.
Text me in the morning. Today I have all my stuff wrapped up today.
Sounds good.
I haven't looked at it yet. Don't be saying that.
How long did my nose just get?
I wouldn't get my head no, you'd knock everybody out.
It was a pretty big nose to start
I
with.
have not given an okay on that, so yeah.
As soon as they give me the okay, I can leave. So anyway, that may help that as well. Bob, going to your particular function, state leads. Do we know how many people have signed up to become state leads, and what states are?
We haven't gotten in touch with Max yet on that.
Okay.
So we haven't had our meeting yet.
I just went through emails. I had 190 emails this morning, and I went through and narrowed it down to 51 because most of them were just had
Junk.
nothing to do with it.
51 people want to actually.
So I forwarded it over to the state email, and I'll read through all those and see how many of them are actually looking.
Okay.
And then
All
I'm
right.
sure some will fill out applications that but those went straight to Mags, I think.
Okay.
So
All
I
right.
need that list.
So what we need to do with that is, and the reason I'm asking that is, what I want to do is this weekend. Why this weekend is so important is this will be the first time that people will actually see what we're actually doing now. And we're going to be live streaming it. We'll have multiple live streams up. I'm also going to take this presentation and sit down with my microphone where it's a good, clean audio, and just go through it and narrate, and then the slides will be shown with that as well. So that will be then posted on our
Website.
Thank you. I keep wanting to say social media, but that's not a social media. That's website. Be posted on the website where people can go. What needs to happen is when we do this presentation, the people that want to take leadership in their state, and I'm not saying take the whole state. That will be determined later, but we need people that are willing to step up and say, okay, I want to do what you guys are doing, form their teams, vet their team, and then do what we're doing. You know, you can do this with 10 or 12 people. And so put your teams together. You may just want to take your district and just hit that district, church after church,
Yeah.
seminar after seminar. You know, every weekend.
The only way we're gonna be able to educate is get them district people
Yep.
going and get them out there. And
Yeah.
get
And
this
once you
going.
see this presentation, it's about 20 minutes long, I'm saying.
About 20 minutes.
Yeah. 20 minutes long. And honestly, guys, it's very simple. You're basically just reading the frames. And what that does is, the reason I do it that way is I could stand up and just say this stuff, but when you say it and then they see it, it has a bigger, and the frames we put together, they're very colorful.
Colorful.
Thank you. I'm glad I'm not a public speaker for a living. So you just basically click through it and just read the frames. It's not like you have to remember this stuff. It's very simple to do. I wanted to make it, number one, easy. I want to make it duplicatable, and I wanted to keep the message where everybody is preaching the same message. So you just walk through that. And at the end of it, then what I'll be working on today is actually, we've determined that at the end of it, we're going to put what I wanted to do was introduce the national team. I wanted to talk about what this organization has done up to this point, and I wanted them to see what caliber of people they are joining. These seminars are basically membership drives. And why is that important? It's important because when we go to talk to these, and remember, I'm talking about we want to have a 1776er talk to every single elected official in this state, from the dog catcher to the state senator. So what happens at that point is we need to listen to these people, and that's why we have to have these membership drives. And make no mistake, these seminars, that's what they are. They're membership drives. Doesn't cost you anything to be a member of 1776 Restoration Movement. The only thing that we're asking membership for is for special places in the website. You can, that's going to give you special access in the website. All you're paying for there is those special rooms or whatever. And even that is not exclusive. It's not continuously exclusive. Like the podcast, I write an article every week. Mags writes an article every week. We're going to start bringing more stuff online that will be available to founding members and members first, but not, it won't be forever that. Now, there are some things that founding members have that no one else will ever have, and there's some direct access stuff that they get that's, specific to them. The coin, the T-shirt, the ID card, those things like that. Plus, there's going to be a place where you can actually,
More to come.
yeah,
Direct access.
direct access. There's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, direct access to different board members, to the board members, and stuff like that. So there are some things there. So that's part of it. That's what we're doing here. So we're actually starting to build the membership, the working membership, the people that are going to be the boots on the ground, the people that are actually, in that seminar, I say, some of you will be speaking to the representatives. Some of you will be, and when I talk about representatives, I'm talking again, your mayor, your sheriff, your school board, your city councils, all of these people. We have to start educating them on what system of government we actually have. We are not a democracy.
That's right.
And the people are not getting that. I mean, the guy who teaches that class that we're watching, Rick Green, he said, I went through law school and was a Texas state senator or representative, and he had never read the Constitution. He didn't really know what kind of government we had. And that's sad. I mean, and now that's why he's 100% for what we're doing. So, but what I want to do is the Monday after the seminar, I want to have those people identified in the different states that are going to be doing what I do. And I want to have a live stream, or not a live stream, but a video conference with those people where we
Put
can,
your team together.
Yeah.
And,
So that's
it's not
why,
just people that go out there and do what you do. It's the people under that person that's going to be, checking the venues, getting the materials that you need,
Well,
making sure that.
I don't want to meet with all of them.
No.
I want to meet with the
Just saying
person
that.
that's going to recruit those people, and then they can. And what might be a good idea is like Kentucky, your logistics and stuff like that. You might want to have that same kind of meeting.
and his
People come in,
team,
people that aren't.
working with us, we help them, those leads, identify where.
And we need to disseminate throughout the rest of the states. If we find if we find something that, this is again, we've never done this before.
But it's exciting.
It
It's
is.
fun.
It is.
I like
And
it.
it's really actually a greater sense of fulfillment now than I did even when what we were doing on the mall. I mean, the mall was, it was different, and we'd never done that before, and it was,
Nobody's ever done that.
That was
Yeah.
another step to what we're doing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And but this here, I really feel
We were on the
satisfied that we're actually now moving to actually get something done. This will be what that done. And honestly, it was necessary that we do it. That set our reputation. That's where we built our name.
That we could
It
stand
was a
up.
statement.
We said a statement saying we're just gonna do what we say we're gonna
Yeah,
do.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
And peacefully.
But
And-
now
and
you're going to
peacefully.
be able to go and identify, with your groups and all your leads, and just take it a whole nother step further.
Yeah.
And that way you'll be able to stay in touch and monitor where, what needs to be done in the different states and who's participating.
This will eventually. I mean, Brother Tony Cannon called me yesterday morning, and he said, Brother David, let me tell you, there may be times where you feel like you're not doing anything. He said, but you're always doing something. So things are going on that you have no idea what's going on.
Right.
No one's voice is too small.
Exactly.
That's it right there.
And he said, what I see happening is this is all of a sudden, this is going to explode. He said, and it's going to be, massive. So that's what we're praying for. That's what we're working for. It's why we're doing this.
Waking people up,
yeah.
stand up.
Remember, I've said from the very beginning, we are the fuse. They are the dynamite.
I want to read a
So-
text I just got like 3 minutes ago. Okay. From the girl in Wales who's been sending me intel and stuff on all this stuff. About the church. Okay. So, anyways, the church in Brazil that wants us to come.
Oh, okay.
That's where James lives.
Okay.
Hallelujah.
Cool. Security's Ever vigilant.
You gotta go first to make sure it's safe.
Ever vigilant.
You gotta go first.
Raptor's so
And since
calm.
I'm going, Mom and Pop gotta go with me.
Yeah.
Is that a segue to security?
That's one of the things I got there. Anyway, I want to do this the Monday after, where we sit down and have the meeting with all the people that are willing to be. And I'm not saying you're going to be the state lead of that. You just want to be a leader in your state, and there's going to be a need for many leaders in the states. We don't want to overwhelm anybody. Some people are going to be able to do more than others as far as time and things like that. We understand that, but everybody's got. And I'm asking for at least 2 hours a week from every single person that says I want to be a member of this. And that 2 hours a week might just be going through bills that are coming across your state's floor or through the U.S. Capitol's floor. It may be going through what's coming up at your school board, or organizing people to meet at the school board or a city council meeting. We've got to start showing up to these things.
That's right.
All the little things are just as important as the big things.
Exactly. We got to focus
Well,
on
it's the little
everything.
things that are the building blocks.
Right.
You've got to have
That's the
that structure.
foundation.
Case in point, Lady Buckeye up there smiling. She's just smiling away. This past week went to a school board meeting. Tell us about that.
Just that there's a lot of things going on with the school board meeting. I actually ended up going to an ethics law class, which was kind of ironic because I feel like if you're a public servant, you shouldn't be told what ethics are. But I guess some people need to know that. So, but it was more what God was sending me there for was my big revelation. So going with the school board, they basically passed the buck. The resolution didn't get passed, and they're trying to pass it on to somebody else.
Why do you think they passed the buck?
Because they don't want to be held accountable for what is going on.
Well, how many people were there?
There was hundreds
Yeah.
of people there that were for the resolution. There was a handful of people that were against the resolution.
And what was the resolution?
The resolution was about gender identity policies.
And when you say for,
The resolution was for to give the parents, the staff, and the school
permission,
Well, it was
authority,
so that support.
Yeah.
So that the parents were giving back control over what their children are being taught in school.
So, in your best estimate, I know it's just an estimate, how many were on our side and how many were on the other side?
Out of 100 people, I would say 90% our side, 10% against.
So maybe that's why they said, "Hey, we might need to pass this up the
Yeah.
line."
Really.
See what I'm saying? This stuff works. Numbers work.
You're talking about what a person wants most is to be reelected.
Yeah.
If they pass it on, then they're not held accountable for saying,
Mhm.
"Hey, you voted for that, so we're not
They're
going to vote
voting.
for you."
They're not going to have that vote
Yeah,
record
right.
stating
Yeah.
that they voted for or against.
Hallelujah. So
Are
we
you
are
gonna-
doing something even if we ain't there.
Are you going to develop a team down the road? Because there is so much. You almost have to have a watchdog team that is nationwide that just keeps up with all this kind of feeds into.
We're gonna need to
Does
have.
that make sense?
We're gonna need to have teams in every state
'Cause
at
that's
every level of every state.
laborious,
Oh yeah.
keeping up with all that.
And that's why we can't. We've got, if we spread it out, if we have the membership and we spread it out, no one person is overwhelmed.
Because look what happened in California. I mean, we all were there and we all saw it. And
now they're
the
passing those
abortion
bills.
bill, and then they, oh, okay, we're not going to do it.
Right.
You're here, woo,
Yeah.
you scare us, and then
Right.
as soon as we
Slowly,
leave the
yes,
state,
they do.
man, boom, it just
Exactly.
goes right up the food chain.
So that's
So-
what we've got to do. This building coalitions where every state is focused, laser focused on what is going on, and we're constantly watching it. When we left California, guess what? I keep getting texts. Gavin Newsom just signed in the bill that doctors are not. I think it's one that they said the doctors are not allowed to talk about anything other than what the state approves. Excuse
Right.
me. I'm sorry. That is not your responsibility.
No.
I am sorry. The
Yes.
government cannot control your tongue. That is illegal.
That's
Well,
right.
they're controlling your medical
Well, it's also
care,
controlling
the
Yep.
quality
goals.
of care.
Like that either because they're getting government cover.
What is it?
They're making me responsible for what I do, but they're not. Uh, I say take away the government cover from them and make them as liable as I am. So, anyway, Monday we will have that meeting. I'll need all those people identified by,
Okay.
so that we can. Actually, I need them identified by Sunday so that we can have Mag set up where we're going to have the meeting with those. So anybody that is willing, that if you're watching out there right now, anybody that is already signed up to be a state lead, we will have a meeting on Monday afternoon or Monday evening where we go through and we talk about, what you're going to need. Mags, you're watching. I know we will have. We'll need to have the seminar, the flyers, the pamphlets, all that kind of stuff, in a uploaded to the website. The only people that are going to have access to those files will be the people that are going to be the leadership of that state. It's not going to go out to everybody to disseminate.
Right, right.
You have to be vetted as a leader before we give you access to that information. Of course, once it goes out, they can.
When are you going to announce the final time Monday so people will know?
Let's just go ahead and announce it now. Let's see, 7 o'clock would be 4 o'clock on the West Coast. So
So 8?
8, yeah, that put it at 5 o'clock on the West Coast.
You did 8, they
8
can get
o'clock,
off work.
right? 8 o'clock Monday night. I want to have that meeting there, and it'll be pretty much an open format where we can actually just talk about what we're going to be doing. And this is going to be an ongoing thing where we have, we need to have weekly meetings with leadership. We may be able to set it up where it's we'll have an East Coast and a West Coast time.
Yeah, okay.
But and what I want to do is I want to see all of these leaders. Right now, I've got how many live streamers I got here? I got three of us right now live streaming.
Yeah, just
I'm
you.
not. Oh yeah, here.
I mean that we can.
Yeah,
We
right.
got 3 that are live streaming. And if you guys haven't signed up for Liberty's Voice, go over to Liberty's Voice and subscribe right now. Also, Lady Buckeye on YouTube. Both these on YouTube, right?
Yes.
Both these on YouTube. Guys, we need to really set up another Rumble account, a backup account for Rumble.
I've got Rumble, I just haven't figured it out yet.
I've got videos on if they want to subscribe to my Rumble channel.
Rumble, what's your
Lady
Rumble?
Buckeye.
Lady Buckeye on Rumble as well.
All right.
What's yours on Rumble?
Social.
Mine's Liberty's Voice on Rumble, but I haven't put anything on, so
Okay.
I'll get on that today.
Go to Liberty's
I got
Voice
True
on Rumble.
Social, Odyssey.
Okay.
What's that new thing that I just heard?
Wimkin is
Wimpy?
yeah. I actually just shared Wimkin last
Where was
night.
that with?
Wimkin is Jason Richardson, who was part of the founders of Facebook that didn't like where he was taking it.
Okay.
So if anybody is not checked out Wimkin and they like the Facebook platform,
Yeah.
Wimkin, WIMKIN, is a free free censorship, and it is Facebook platform.
Okay.
It's a nice platform.
But they don't have the censorship that Facebook
Yes.
period.
Okay.
Okay, 'cause
We need
what I
to
just
start
got was-
as a freedom movement. We need to start going away from these platforms that do not support us.
That's right.
Correct.
We have to start. We
If
may lose.
anybody out there that's wanting the free speech, get off those platforms.
We have to start moving away from that. That's all there is to it. I've got.
That's
I don't know
what
how.
most
I don't even know how
people
many
write.
people are on my YouTube. I don't pay attention to that. But I've last time I looked at over 9,000 people on YouTube. I don't care. I really don't care anymore. I want to be able to speak as I need to speak.
Instead of what you just happened
Exactly.
to
Had to all be
Right.
careful. And last night we were driving down the road and I made a joke about the medicine that you can't talk about. And, I said, Mama just gave me my first dose of that medicine. And I went, it's a joke.
They can censor you for doing
They
that.
can censor you
Yeah,
for even mentioning that name. So, yeah, I'm.
Speaking of little horse.
I can only count
Do
to.
not get him started. I had to listen to him for 2.5 hours doing that all the way down there. Do not get him started.
Well,
So that's we're going to have to start pushing away from these and building our voice in other areas.
yeah.
So
For sure,
Well, maybe
too,
that's
social.
something that we can make a plan and start really
Yeah.
directing and being leaders in.
if you
know,
build it,
why
they will
not?
come.
Right, yeah.
If you build it, they will come.
Mhm.
So.
I mean, we've made waves everywhere else. Why not? Let's
Yeah.
make a new wave.
Yeah.
I
There's
kind of like doing that.
no sense in reinventing the wheel. Just let these people have already built these platforms
Exactly.
for us. Let's just move to it. So
Walls and wheels.
We've made our voice heard.
Somebody
Let's make
said
our
that. I
voice
can't
heard
remember.
some more.
Max just said we can live stream directly to the 1776rm.com.
Oh, look
Oh.
at that.
So
Way to go,
Alright.
Mags.
Way to go,
Yeah.
Max!
You awesome, bro.
that's awesome.
Mm.
He's not
Directly to the it's directly to the 1776.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna get me a thingy, and I'm gonna start live streaming. Yeah.
Well, you just get that thingy
I'm
thingy
gonna get that thingy started.
I can't wait to see that live stream.
You'll probably have more.
I'm just
more
going to give up live
followers than
streaming.
all of us.
Yeah, I'm going to give up live streaming after that. How can I compete? How can I compete with him and his thingy thing?
Ain't nobody gonna be able to compete with this
I'm out.
thing.
I'm out.
We
I don't even know what it's
Hey,
called,
Joe,
but I'm getting
hey,
one and I'm
Joe,
going for
We are
it.
going to help you with this live stream because for some reason I just
Absolutely.
think it's going to be epic.
And in closing, before this gets out of hand,
Oh
and in closing, security. Security.
Yes.
Raptor's in charge of security. Go ahead and give us an update on what's going on in that frame.
So, everything boots on the ground has been great. We're keeping everything secure. Definitely come to the seminar. It will be, security will be tight as always. If any unfriendlies do show up, we will challenge and address that and be taken care of accordingly. And so we're going to have it secure, so make sure you show and stand up. And it's going to be educational. It's going to be a party, and we're going to have a good time. And it also going to be everything that comes through the PO box. I will be screening too to make sure everything is legit, and I will be double verifying all state leads and making sure that you
Yes.
are who you say you are, and that nobody with any bad intentions wants to come in and not do pleasant things. So we're going to make sure it as secure as always, and we have a great security team here. It's just not Raptor; it's a team.
Yeah.
So and we're gonna eyes and ears everywhere. So if you do see something within by the end of this weekend, there will be links so you can be able to email, and I can if you have anything that you think I need to know about, or the security team, so we can verify it and make sure everything's on the up and up. But other than that, we love you all, and thanks for the support.
Yeah.
And keep on doing big things, and win. So.
Sounds good. Anything else that needs to be addressed that I've forgotten about?
One thing,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to say a prayer for Sean that he gets what he needs, so he doesn't have to adhere to those kind of rules. So he can do what he wants to do in that church.
Yeah.
Instead of
Yeah.
not being able to do this and do that.
Yeah.
Just let him have the funds
Yeah.
that he needs to pay that off, so he's not a
Restricted.
slave to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
He, Brother Sean is, he, like I said up there Sunday morning, he was an evangelist. He was a good evangelist. He had a very powerful ministry. Good
Good man.
And he called me one day and said, I'm gonna start a church. So I feel like God's wanting me to start a church, and I'm like, oh, Brother Sean. I mean, he had such a great ministry already going, and I'm like, oh, Brother Sean. and you don't know what he's done in that community. I mean, he'll tell you he was a drug addict. Uh, he was and he still is bad to the bone. I wouldn't fight that man for all the money in the world. Yeah, I'd fight him for all the money in the world. And I'd just let him hit me once and I'd go down. But he has trained. He has trained a lot. He is a bad dude, and he is well known in his community, in his former life, as you didn't mess with Sean Phelps. I mean, you just didn't mess with him. He had hurt you, you know. And then to see him, what God done for him, he went from being, you know, that guy into being Sean Phelps, the man of God, is powerful. And he's right back in his home community where he grew up at. Matter of fact, the lady that chased us down, what was her name again?
No, what's her name?
What was her? She's probably watching.
That guy. The lady that chased us down.
Christy Bray, she's in the chat.
Yeah, she's in there. Yeah. Christy, one of the first things she says, "You were at Sean Phelps Church," and she said, "I know him," you know. But you know, he's right back in his home community where you know, he can exhibit what Christ can do for a man. And he's just such a, you know, he's a dear friend of mine, and has been for years. I mean, I'm not kidding. He's one of them guys that makes me uncomfortable when I'm around him, because he loves me so much and he respects me so much. I'm not used to that, you know. You saw how he talked about me in the church and stuff, and I'm like, I wished I was who so many people think I am.
You are.
We know who you are.
You are.
That's right.
David, we know who you
guys
are.
are.
The biggest thing is you have humility.
Yes, I was thinking.
Yeah, I wished I was as strong as you guys think, and I wished I was as.
We can do all things in Christ Jesus.
But I know that I told Mom this morning, when I was talking to Mom this morning, I said, "Mom, I've seen."
There's Mom.
I've seen God move in my life since I've come here. I came here, guys. I was broken. I went from preaching 280 plus times a year and ministering, you know, and loving what I was doing, and had a great ministry, and God was using us to nothing. And I crawled in my truck, and I hid in my truck until. And this is why I can't talk bad. I can't talk bad about the People's Convoy. Because before they came here even, I started feeling that unction to write again. And I've been writing ever since. And God began to use me again in that capacity. And I had no intentions of ever doing what I'm doing now, but you know, God's got a plan, and I am not here because of my ability. I don't have this ability. I am weak, and I'm frail, and I'm fallible, but I'm here because of God's strength. You know, some of the things that I faced, I know I don't have the strength to overcome that or do that on my own. That was God. That was absolutely 100% God. All I was doing was leaning back in his arms and saying, "Help me get through this." And he did. Yeah. And I want to be, you know, what God wants me to be. I don't want to be what I want to be, because what I want to be is not good. You know, I want to be what God wants me to be. I want to be the man that God wants me to be. And so all of this is his credit.
This may be a little early, but I talked to Father Sturgis this morning, and he said, "Mom," but he says, "I don't have facilities for bathrooms and all that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to talk to the mayor. I know him,
Oh, okay.
and see what we can come up with
Yeah.
for you guys." So that's Florida.
Their spiritual leader. I cannot wait to meet him. I cannot wait.
Florida. She talked about Florida.
I have to be on the team that goes to Florida. That's all there is to it. Because I got to meet Father Sturgis.
Sturgis.
Because when the first time I talked to him, he says, take it to the Bolsheviks. Where's he from?
Well, he's Russian and Greek.
He's Russian and Greek. So when he said that, I'm like, oh, this is my brother. He's take it to the Bolsheviks.
Right.
He gets it. I mean, he totally gets it. I've been in conversations, and they've shared some messages that he sent to me through them, and he is the kind of man of God that we are looking for
That's
to
right.
help us
That's right.
accomplish what we're going to accomplish.
And I
I
don't
mean,
think it's early, because it's like 20 degrees outside.
And all I got to say is this Florida girl's going back to Florida.
You guys need to suck it up.
Go ahead, Bob.
You go right ahead. I'll suck it up on the beach.
Get the Carhartts and the coveralls and the blankets. And
Yeah.
go ahead, Mama.
And I said to Santa that he's a great cook too, and he said, let's go to Florida.
There's lots of reasons why I want to go to Florida. Lots of reasons. So, but I really I foresee in the near future that we're going to be, we're going to still be doing what we're doing, but it's going to be more of a support role from us, and others will be taking over their states and just building massive coalitions in their states, and we're just going to come along and kind of help them out and support them, and
We'd be the national guys.
we'll
Yeah.
come in and we'll ride in and say what do you guys need us to do, and
That's right.
then we'll do
How
that.
can we help?
Yeah, kind of like we did with the rally Saturday. When I met with that board, I told them, I said, look, we're not here to take over. We're here to help you. What can we do to help you build? And he says, well, if you can help us raise the money, those guys, they're putting that out of their own pocket. They don't have any experience with fundraising. They're Americans. They do it. They don't ask for help. They just do it. And now that they're in this movement is growing for them, takes money. They realize it takes money to do it, and it can't be just one person or two or three people
Right.
funding
That's right.
our freedom. It has to be
That
all of us
is-
funding our freedom. So
That was Mike Painter just called.
he called me too. I couldn't answer. Yeah. So and he's invited us to come to his house. He wants Mom and Pop to come, and he said, "Oh, you got to bring Mom and Pop to my house, man." So,
Yeah.
he's such a good guy, just a beautiful soul, and all of them people are. I mean, just we were blessed to be a part of that. The devil, what the enemy meant for evil, God turned it for good.
Amen.
So,
Amen.
and I'm telling you, if we truly have a godly heart about us, nothing will stand against us.
That's
It will
right.
never,
Yeah.
no weapon formed against us shall
I'm gonna tell you
prosper.
one. This is true right here. I'm true.
Yeah.
God's got
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Man, he's shaking the heck out of me too.
And there's a whole lot of growth I need to do, and I'm trying to get that growth going. So
We all do, David.
yeah.
We all do, and we've all grown. And I've watched all these people here, and Lady Buckeye is the newest to know as well. But every single person in here, I've known for months now, and every single one of us have grown and taken the experiences from TPC, National Mall, and our faith has grown. I mean, it's just. But everybody here has worked very hard to stay positive and see the future and stay focused when we all have things going on in our own lives. That's what people forget, is that we all have our own personal things going on in our lives, and we're putting those things aside so that we can focus on this movement and put our nation first.
Yeah.
We
And-
have to, because if not, what we got going on at home's not
Yeah.
gonna be
But we
right.
couldn't have done that without God.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we
All
couldn't
by
have done
God.
that if our faith and our personal selves had not grown.
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe that's a little silly sounding, but that's
exactly
just-
that's
No,
exactly
that's
what it
good.
is. We have to continue. Life is fluid. You have to grow. If you're not growing, you're dead.
Mhm.
You know.
Like the last
Yeah,
night's
Well,
sermon.
Yeah.
I have something here
Walking Dead.
that
Yeah.
Remember what we were spoken to last night. And see if I can pull it up real quick. And they were talking about discipline and all that. And so I was in church in Union up in Muncie, and it was speaking the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So this is 3 different times. So no discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. Hebrews 12:11.
Yes.
I've been hearing this, and it's and people look quiet. I've kind of been quiet this week and a little, but this has been just pounded into me for the last week since Sunday, and I can't tell you how many times that saying about discipline. So we all have discipline, and that's what I've seen everybody in this room, our meeting place. We all have this incredible individual discipline that we're applying to our faith, but also to our nation.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
it's I'll
it's
shut up.
exactly no. It's perfect.
That's right.
Perfect. We can't run from discipline. Now, in the presentation, I'm going to come down hard on the church because
Amen.
we have failed.
Amen.
Yes.
We
yes,
have
yes.
failed,
You
and
think you're coming down hard?
Yeah.
God's getting ready to come down
Yep.
hard on the church.
well, the thing about it is if we fall upon that stone, we will be broken. But if that stone falls upon us, we'll be ground to powder.
That's right.
And so we need to hurl ourselves upon that throne,
Right.
or upon that stone now.
Yeah.
We don't want that stone coming down on us, and we're not exempt.
No.
We're not exempt from the judgment of God. And just because we have done well doesn't mean that we are doing well. It doesn't mean that God won't discipline us, and He only disciplines those He loves.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
So,
Right.
and I was talking to Mom today about an occurrence that I had no idea that happened to one of my cousins, and it just floored me of the disgustingness of some people in this nation. And I've always though said that I believe that there are more good godly people than there are evil nasty people. But here's the thing: is I live in a bubble. When I got out of my bubble and I went to DC, I'm like, holy cow, there's a whole lot of really evil, nasty,
Really,
vile people
really.
around me.
I-
So we have to be honest about what we're facing. And when you see the statistics come in that 49% are in agreement with this, and but honestly, the statistics that really matter, I'm still seeing the high 70s marks that they're against the things that I'm against. That they're for the things that I am for. So
That's right.
that is encouraging to me to see that. But this is the deal. We're going to, as a nation, we're going to have to stand up, and I feel like that. And again, I'm not saying that we're something special, or that especially that I'm something special, but that God is using 1776 at this time to do something. And I believe that what we're doing is going to be powerful. That it's so many things. So many times people think that it takes somebody that's highly educated, or that it takes somebody that's well known, or that it takes somebody that has speaking skills, or that it takes no, it just takes you.
That's it.
And that's what 1776 is about, is taking everybody and finding what they can do and letting them do that to take back our country. Some people are good with keyboards. Some people are good at research. Some people are good at whatever you're good at. It's necessary. It's needed, and we will find a place for you to go and be effective in turning our nation around. So, and the main thing is sometimes it just takes bodies. When I worked at the prison and we thought something was getting ready to kick off, we were hearing rumors that when we released the rec line to go back in at 10 o'clock tonight, they were going to take over. Guess what? We put as many bodies on the walks as we could put on there, and never once, did it ever pop off, so thankfully.
you know, you talk about TPC. That's what showed me that there was people out there that thought.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
And a lot.
They're still
of
there
them.
too. They're
Okay.
still there.
Amen.
They're still there. And they still have that passion.
Yeah.
And they still have that burn. They still have that desire.
Yes, sir.
You know. And
I know a few of them that I'm still in contact with, but you're right. There's more of us than there are them.
Allow God to ignite the passion that you have for your country and your love of family.
yeah. Absolutely.
And we're like fire starters to each other.
Yes.
We ignite that
Yeah.
passion.
Yeah.
And it's solid that way.
Yeah.
Because you've got that.
Well, you're coming from the same place, and that's something that's already established. You don't have to reestablish that.
Mm-hmm.
You love your country, you love your freedom,
Right.
and you love your God.
Yes.
And those three things right there, those can make you very effective in a patriot movement that loves its freedom, loves its country, and loves its God. You know.
And there's love is the ground. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
And the greatest of these.
And you'll love each other then. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
The Bible says, you know, you've passed from death unto life because you love the brethren.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
Well, I've made this statement before. If you go back and you look at all the videos, and even because I'm not going to slight TPC because I had huge experiences in TPC.
Yes.
But if you go back and you look at videos, one of the absolute consistent things is you see all of us hugging each other and see all of us loving each other, even when Antifa is just not 100 feet away, spewing their vile evil.
Yeah.
And we still all were smiling and
Yeah.
kind to one another and polite to one another. And I mean,
yeah.
Circle of prayer.
I'm sorry,
remember
but
that?
for me, that just,
Circle of prayer.
Yeah. We
you know, people they don't see that. If they just look for that on the live stream, just look for that, and you will see the continuity of that's a bond between all of us that is so beautiful that, yeah.
Patriots are not going to be intimidated either.
No.
It shows the strength of our
It
mission.
shows that
going.
we didn't waver.
comes
We did
from
not
there.
waver
Yes.
one little
And
bit.
that's what you also find in our viewers.
Yeah.
Because
Yes,
there's a lot
thank
of
you.
them
Our
that
viewers too.
have wavered, but they didn't. They seen through the
Yeah.
bull.
Yeah.
Even
They
my
said-
little group, they've all stuck with me
Yes.
thick and thin all the way through.
I heard a story the other day. I've got to go back and get the names down, but there was a guy who was a loyalist. He was a Troy in 1776, and him and his wife were true to the king. But he knew George Washington, and so one day he went out to Valley Forge to meet him and to talk to him. When he came up on George Washington, he found him outside on his knees praying. And he didn't say anything, he just listened. He turned around and went back to his home and told his wife, he said, "We're on the wrong side." He says, we're on the losing side. He said, "I'm telling you, there's no way in this world a man that prays like that is going to fail."
That's
That's right.
That's right.
Amazing.
Hallelujah.
That's things about our founding fathers that we don't
Yes.
think about. You know, I read Benjamin Franklin's when at the Continental Congress. Let me read this to you. I read this the other day, and I said I got to have that where it's there, where I can see it. In 1787, it's kind of long, but bear with me. In 1787, at the age of 81, Benjamin Franklin was a Pennsylvania delegate to the Constitutional Convention. He made this request at the convention. Now, and some of the words are kind of old, you know, the old language. He says, "Mr. President, the small progress we have made after 4 or 5 weeks close attendance and continual reasoning with each other, our different sentiments on almost every question, several at the last producing as many noes as ayes, is, methinks, melancholy proof of the imperfection of the human understanding. We indeed seem to feel our own want of political wisdom. since we have been running about in search of it. We have gone back to ancient history for models of government and examined the different forms of those republics which, having been formed with the seeds of their own dissolution, now no longer exist. And we have viewed modern states all around Europe, but find none of their constitutions suitable to our circumstances. In this situation of this assembly, groping as it were in the dark to find political truth, and scarce able to distinguish it when presented to us, how has it happened, sir, that we have not hitherto once thought of humbly applying to the Father of lights to illuminate our understandings? In the beginning of the conquest with Great Britain, when we were sensible of danger, we had daily prayer in this room for the divine protection. Our prayers, sir, were heard, and they were graciously answered. All of us who were engaged in the struggle must have observed frequent instances of a superintending providence in our favor. To that kind providence we owe this happy opportunity of consulting in peace on the means of establishing our future natural felicity. And have we now forgotten that powerful friend? Or do we imagine that we no longer need his assistance? I have lived, sir, a long time, and the longer I live, the more convincing proof I see of this truth, that God governs in the affairs of men. And if a sparrow cannot fall to the ground without his notice, is it probable that an empire can rise without his aid? We have been assured, sir, in the sacred writings, that except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. I firmly believe this, and I also believe that without his concurring aid, we shall succeed in this political building no better than the builders of Babel. We shall be divided by our little political local interest. Our projects will be confounded, and we ourselves shall become a reproach and byword down to future ages. And what's worse, mankind may hereafter from this unfortunate instance despair of establishing government by human wisdom and leave it to chance, war, and conquest. I therefore beg leave to move that henceforth prayers, imploring our assistance of heaven and its blessings on our deliberations, be held in this assembly every morning before we proceed to business.
And you heard that again?
Amen.
Benjamin.
Benjamin.
And the thing about Benjamin Franklin, he never, ever said that he was a Christian.
Why don't you read what you wrote the other day? That would be awesome.
Mags, is it okay if I read that now?
Yeah, get approval first. I'm just a nobody.
That was supposed to be
Trying to
exclusive content.
Okay, exclusive. Okay. Sorry.
Get a membership. Go see what Santa wrote.
Mags has given his intent for the website. He had already written his, and I just couldn't get. I was going consent of the governed, and it kind of shows up in this. But so I woke up that morning and I'm like, I got to write, and I tried to do it in the bed to be quiet, and I thought I gotta get out of here. So I got up and I went up there, man, and just God just. It took hours to do it. I had to do research and things like that. But anyway, this is what came out. On September 1st, Joe Biden made a speech entitled "The Continued Battle for the Soul of a Nation," an aesthetically creepy and rhetorically corrupt warning to all who would oppose the radical agenda to fundamentally change America. Well, Mr. Biden, while you may have energized your base, and while you may have fooled the ignorant, you have not deterred the patriot.
Amen.
Your failure is rooted in the fact that you still don't know who we are. You assume that we are loyalists to a man, but that is where you're wrong, sir. We are loyalists to an idea that sprang forth in the greatest nation that ever existed, and is the sole reason for that greatness. The idea that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments were instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to institute new governments. There is a great effort being made today to make we, who still believe in this concept, look like rebellious men and women. Politicians and their media allies paint such patriotic ideology as radical and dangerous, all the while not seeing the irony that these words were perceived as radical and dangerous by the tyrant 226 years ago to whom they were addressed. The idea that good, moral, and just men were meant to live free from government oppression will forever be considered a threat by those whose hearts are evil, corrupt, ignorant, and greedy for power. Conversely, these words will forever be cherished by those of us who only long to be the masters of our own fate. Even the God of heaven and earth, the omniscient, omnipotent Creator, spoken of in this hallowed phrase, does not seek the position over men that you and your kind seek. Where you and your comrades of tyranny want to force your will on the world of men, the Almighty One gives that man freedom to choose his own path. After graciously revealing the blessed path and the cursed path, he then allows all men the right to choose which road they travel, inferring complete accountability onto that soul, where he and he alone will stand accountable for his actions. The God who truly knows what is best for each and every individual does not force what is best on one soul, yet you and your like, who are in the exact same position as the rest of us, lowly mortals, who are confined to an infinitesimal level of knowledge, suppose that you know how I best should live my life. You and all your autocratical league of men are now morally and politically blind, where those great men who founded this nation declared that these truths were self-evident, easily discerned. You cannot grasp this most simple concept. Were those founding fathers your contemporaries, you would drown in their most shallow thoughts. I, and all those like me, resent your attempt to vilify us as rebels. We, sir, are not the rebels. We are the patriots who are standing for what already exists in both legal writings and American spirit. We are not the party that seeks a fundamental change of our national heritage. That mantle is your side's, and your side's alone to wear. I equally abhor your attempt to paint we patriots as violent. You seem to forget that we now have this wonderful gift of history to teach us what to expect from you modern elitists. Oh no, you are not the first to rise to this level of lunacy. History is littered with your kind and mine, and without exception, it is my side who loses the first life. It is my side who weeps over a fallen friend, and my side has already shed our tears. Ashley Babbitt and Roseanne Boylan were killed on January 6th as they were part of a protest for what appears to be an election fraud in 2020 presidential election. Is it so unfathomable to believe such an ideal? We witnessed the windows of Philadelphia covered, obscuring the vote count. Did we not have authorities tell election auditors in Georgia that the count had been suspended, and then they should leave for the night, only to see that counting resume once they had left? Were we not privy to the thousands of names that were revealed as bogus in key areas of the country? Yet you marvel at our unwillingness to accept your word that the election was clean and right. In the immortal words spoken by a recent idiot, come on, man. We have also seen during the Justice Kavanaugh confirmation hearings thousands of your minions storm the same Capitol, breaking through the same doors in a protest of a judicial nominee. Though over 300 were arrested, there were no grieving families left mourning the fact that they would never see their loved one again. With all this evidence, and this is but a minute portion of a long and growing list of grievances, I believe we patriots have shown great restraint. Let me explain why we can exhibit such great restraint, while the tyrannical elements cannot. The sole reason is that our position is defendable with words of truth that are self-evident. The reason you have and will continue to resort to violence is because you cannot win with arguments alone. Your only option is to silence your opposition by any means necessary. Well, sir, I'm in this battle for the soul of my nation too. I may not be a powerful politician or a wealthy crook, but I have something that you don't have. Love of truth, love of country, and love of the God who has never failed. And to this endeavor I have pledged my life, my fortune, and my sacred honor. Historically, we will suffer and even bleed some more. But in the end, we will win.
Amen. Yes, that's right.
Victory.
Yeah.
Quite as
Hashtag winning.
Hashtag winning.
eloquent as old Benjamin Franklin, but
Okay.
Talented, darn
Jake Frank.
Did great.
so anyway, that's you come down to the fact that when they signed Declaration of Independence, they signed their own death warrant.
They did.
It is.
They signed it.
Who was that big one? Man. Yeah.
John Hancock, yeah. And
Next one's gonna be Joe Pack. Hallelujah.
let me find this. I just seen this the other day. Suicide was the I don't know if it's going to come up or not. There were two guys there.
Yeah.
They said it was a very solemn event. No one was speaking. They were just walking up one by one and signing the Declaration of Independence. And Benjamin Harrison, he's a portly delegate from Virginia, tried to lighten the mood with gallows humor. And it just went away. Okay. Standing at the table beside Elbridge Gerry, a skinny delegate from Massachusetts, Harrison said, "I shall have a great advantage over you, Mr. Gerry, or Gary probably. When we are all hung for what we are now doing, from the size and weight of my body, I shall die in a few minutes. But from the lightness of your body, you will dance in the air for an hour or two before you are dead." It said it did little to ease it, but they all fully understood that they were, they were probably going to die. But they'd done it.
Yes.
They'd done it. And, like I said, some of us will probably bleed some more, but what price do you put on freedom? It has a cost.
Yes, sir.
Freedom, you have to pay a price for
That's
freedom.
right. Absolutely.
Everything has a cost. There's no free lunch. And is it a strange thing that freedom would be that high of a price?
Right.
It's the greatest thing that we can possess is freedom.
Yeah.
The ultimate freedom cost the Son of the living God.
Yes.
And it had to be him. It could be no less than him.
Because it's human nature to put self first.
Yeah.
That's why it's such a battle
Yeah.
for freedom.
Yep. Most people just want to just want to live their life and be free.
Me.
Yeah,
It's me.
but we can't. There's throughout history, throughout our history, there's been a generation that had to stand up
Right.
and be selfless and sacrifice. And unfortunately, for us, it's our generation. Or is it fortunately
You're right.
for us?
Right.
Fortune.
I was born for a time like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Another
when
generation
the hat that
and
was given to me.
America would be gone.
And that means everything. I was born for a time like this.
Yeah, and we've all talked about it. And I know our live streamers, they feel this too. Some of them have said it, in chat. But the things that we've went through have prepared us for this hour. And this is not the World War II moment. This is even grander than that, in some ways, in that we can do this without firing a shot. That's thankfully we're not being called to do that.
Right. Right.
This is a much better situation than theirs. But they went into that situation. If you look at that history, there were warning signs. There were things that were going on. There were people that were in power that ignored
Right.
the looming issue and actually spoke in favor of what was coming to power in that era. And all of a sudden it flipped, and it wasn't. You couldn't ignore it anymore.
Right.
Hard to ignore it when your cities are being taken over and people are dying around you.
Right.
Hard to ignore it then. But they waited too late to address the issue, and it became a war. And that's what we're trying to do, is address the issue now. And we can do this, but it's going to take all of us. Every state has to get on board. Everybody has to get on board. That's for freedom. If we're stopping this in a peaceful way. We have to do this. We have to do this.
Yeah, well, the movement's doing the same thing, same call.
Yeah.
Going here and there, teaching,
Yeah.
then he'd go on somewhere else. But then he'd write his letters and,
Yeah.
and encouraging the people that he'd already been to.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
That's why he's in charge.
That's right. That's right. Now you see why.
Hallelujah.
So, all right, let's go out of here and do what God has called us to do.
That's it.
Yeah.
And
Take a
live
nap.
streamers, the live stream audience, keep us in your prayers, and we're going to start having these meetings every morning as best we can. The reason it was so late this morning was because we all got in here like at 2:30 last night, going on 3 last night. We were,
And Raptor was away.
and Raptor was sitting there waiting on us.
Thank you, Raptor.
Yes.
Thank you.
He was
Yes.
like the mother waiting for some.
Yeah, he's like, "Where have you guys been?"
It was IHOP's fault.
I was going to start calling the hospitals and
Sheriff's office?
yeah.
Really?
Santa Max wants you to read his message
Max want me to go.
out loud. And Fireball Gal said hi to
At Convoy
Hi,
said,
Fireball.
Hey, Fireball.
Thank you.
yes.
Liberty's voice says hello.
Mag American said, if it's a quote from Thomas Paine, "If there must be trouble, let it be in my day, so that my children may have peace."
That's right.
That's
Amen.
exactly it.
Amen.
And they don't even know it. Man, that's
Yeah.
what hurts so.
Absolutely. Like I said, we don't have to create any new phrases. They're already there.
Right.
Yeah.
We're facing the same thing that they faced in 1776.
They did it.
Yep.
Everybody's happy to see you, Ann.
Yes.
Thank you.
Everybody's saying
Thank
hi
you.
to Ann.
Thank you. Hello, hello.
They're there.
All right, guys.
Dang, a lot of people just jump back from their phones.
She keeps on looking at me. I'm like, no, look there.
Thank you, Carol. And with a bunch of hearts.
Oh man.
Hi,
Can't
Ann.
help it. And it's
Yeah.
contagious around here.
Ann is gutsy. Yes, she is.
No, that's good to see you.
Oh, oh. I like my version of it better. Ann is gutsy. Guys, just say good to see you. Don't leave it up to me to figure out these acronyms. Yes, gutsy.
You're the one that said everybody should put Santa rocks on mine.
Because the only reason I said that is because it's true.
Oh, wow. I don't know. Ma and Pa were getting a lot more rocks.
Yeah, they were getting some too, weren't
I
they?
know the bus is emptying.
Yeah.
Yes, Saturday for the seminar.
I gotta
Friday
go
at
eat
7,
lunch.
And Saturday at 2.
Saturday,
Canby
yeah.
seminars.
Yeah.
Yes. Thanks, Christy.
Friday at 7. Santa Rocks. See, Carol Burton knows it. Santa Rocks. Here it comes.
There it
See?
goes.
My nephew has a church in Ardmore, Oklahoma, and he said, I want everything I want on this. We want.
Oh, yeah.
And very patriotic he is.
Oh,
and he loves
fantastic.
God and-
Let's go to Texas.
Sounds like we
There's
need
the
to.
next one.
Can we just not go to Texas in the summer, please?
God bless
Okay.
you. Goodbye.
God bless you.
Yeah, I gotta eat.
We got to go get some work done.
Yes, yes.
I gotta get food.
I'm going to have to. All right, guys. Love you guys. And give you a few minutes
Thank
to.
you and God bless.
Thank you. Keep saying them Santa Rocks. That's all right. That's all right.
There you go.
No, you need to say Santa Rocks on Liberty's Voice.
I'm going to build that video with an audio file that I have on my
All right.
computer now,
Okay.
but it's not the right audio file.
All right.
But it will, at least I can get the transitions and stuff in, and then put the audio to it later. I have to go to Brother Tony's and download the audio.
Well, I'm gonna go to the library and see about getting the maps. Do you two want to have a meeting first before I go do that?
Yeah,
Or
well, maybe
can I
10, 15
stuff-
likes or.
Can I stuff my face
message.
first?
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, no rush.
Is my food still in your truck?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it locked?
I didn't eat it. No, it's unlocked.
Okay. Leftover quesadilla, here I come. Yeah.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. No, we're not coming to Texas right now. Somebody asked it. No, we're not coming right now. We don't know where we're going next, but the movement is coming to Texas for sure. So there's people in Texas ready to get it going. So
Does he look? Yeah, there's so
I think
many.
Christy, didn't we give Christy Bray one of those flyers already? That's the flyer that we gave you, Christy. Tells where it's at and stuff. So all right. So love you guys. We'll catch you later. Bye.